watching maybe a few areas of drizzle, a few flurries as we move overnight into tomorrow morning. I'll time that out for you, let you know if it's something to think about as you make your New Year's Eve plans coming up in the full forecast. Michelle?
All right, we need you. Thank you so much, Lainey. Final day of 2023 is here, and with the new year on the horizon, crews have been getting ready for the annual celebration at Times Square. The ball's ready, so is the confetti. More than a ton of it is going to be released when the clock strikes midnight. They were trying that out the other day. Nobody got a paper cut. It worked out just fine. Eyewitness News reporter Reagan Medji is live right there with what we can expect tonight. Hi.
Hi there. It is wild to think in a couple hours you won't even be able to move over here. I'm stepping out of the way so you can see behind me. It's almost like a desert. We've got the guardrails up, and it's just that quiet calm before the big old party in Times Square. That's right. So, in that said, we also want to make mention that the NYPD is making sure it's doing everything it can to make sure it is going to be a safe and festive occasion, expanding the so-called frozen zone around Times Square. Now, that is from 6th to 8th Avenues and 41st to 57th Streets. This will create a larger buffer to guard against protesters and a potential lone wolf attacker who could be radicalized by the conflict in the Middle East. Now, it is important to note at this time, the NYPD says there is no credible threat here in Times Square, but they will have a large presence as they always do.
There will be one and everyone for safety. Just a reminder, again, no backpacks, no duffel bags, large packages, no alcohol. These are all prohibited items. But our officers will be there, and they will be there to protect you. Our NYPD officers will be keeping everyone in attendance safe, so you can celebrate ringing in the new year in the greatest city in the world.
So behind me I have these open pens, and way up yonder, all the way up on one Times Square, you can see that we've got the ball. Now the ball did a test drop yesterday, and they routinely do that every year to make sure that the ball does in fact go up and then drop down. And there was this team of 5 men who were there yesterday. They are the team for the past 7 years who make sure that the wires don't get tangled when that ball ascends and then drops down. And it's, they say, an absolutely spectacular moment when they're up there and that ball drops and they hear the crowd roar and erupt. We're live here in Times Square before the party begins. Reagan Medji, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
So good, so great. Thank you, Reagan. We're going to help you ring in the new year right here on Channel 7. Kick it off at 7 o'clock with a countdown to 2024 hosted by Good Morning America's Robin Roberts. Then 8 o'clock, the start of Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, hosted by Ryan Seacrest. Eyewitness News has a special edition, 10 o'clock, and then it's back to Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve to count us down to the ball drop in Times Square. Again, you can catch it all here on Channel 7 starting at 7.
Auckland was the first major city to ring